Okay, YouTubers, we're going to see if we can get a fire started this morning. It's been raining it rained Thursday, Friday, a little bit yesterday, which was Saturday, and then we haven't had any rain since then. Although we did have a pretty good frost out this morning. So most of this wood's wet. We'll see if it'll even catch on fire. I'm going to use the Pathfinder flint and steel, a little bit of char cloth today. We're just going to, well, maybe not. See if we can make this work as advertised. It's a bit breezy out here today, so we're going to find out if all of one's preparations will work. Got a little lamp cloth in there, lamp wick. Some char cloth that we made. Hopefully, I'll get this turned over, put on the edge of the stone here, and we'll see if we can get a spark on it. That didn't take very long. Now we'll poke that down into our bird's nest here and give it a blow. And we have fire. Flip that over, let it feed back in on itself. Our opening wasn't quite big enough, but nonetheless we'll pull our bundle over and we'll see if that'll take off. Put our equipment away so we know where it is. Now we wait and see. As you can tell on that side there, we've got a pile of fuel. This is our tinder and kindling going up now. Appears to be doing what it's supposed to do. Ooh, warm on that side. Start putting some from the back side in. Once the flames come up through, then technically we can start to add some fuel onto it. Most of this has been dried coming off the back of the tree all winter long, and I just keep it and put it in the pile. The thing we're looking for now is a sustainable fire. And it appears as though we may have that. A little bit of breeze isn't hurting anything today. Appears to be getting oxygen. Big thing here is hoping that it breathes, gets plenty of oxygen, so that that fire can sustain itself. Appears to be doing okay. Alright kids, here's the fire so far. All the twigs and the kindling and the initial fuel's pretty much burned down. And now basically we've just got some wetter logs that have been exposed to all the rain, so it's smoking quite a bit, taking a little bit to get a nice bed of coals going, and once we get another update going here, we'll sling the newly configured tripod over the top and we'll test out the new Zebra Billy Can 14 centimeter. Back in a minute. Alright kids, now we've got the tripod setting up. Fire's starting to get a little bit hot. What we're going to do is we're going to hang a billy can from a paracord. And what first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a toggle on the end. And that way with the bail of the pot can sit over this and we can suspend it from the tripod. So what we want to do is put a lark's head knot on this. So what we'll do is we'll put a loop, a bite in our line. We're going to wrap it around our twig. And then we're going to pull the working end and the long end through the loop here. Hopefully you guys can see that. I put a other knot in the part of that. We'll just pull all that line through. And then what this does is makes a nice loop right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. What I'm going to do is work the knot down, because that knot then acts as a stopper knot. We'll get that kind of right in the middle. And we'll pull her down tight. And then again, once it's hanging like this, the bail of our billy pot will be able to hang over this. And then we can suspend this from the tripod. Okay, this is my new 14 centimeter billy can. As you can tell, it's about 6.5 inches tall. It's about 5.5 inches wide. In this particular case, we've got it filled with water, so you guys can see that. It's about half full. Supposedly it'll hold 64 quarts, or 64 ounces rather. Of course, that's always to the top. And then just to give you a quick view of what our toggle will look like, as we're hanging this up, toggle fits in, goes back through the wire, and then we're able to suspend the can just like this. And we can then hang it over the top of the pot. We can adjust the bail so it hangs evenly. And that's going to be the way we're going to put our pot up. And in this case, I'm just going to go right over this one loop. I want it to be down close to the fire because it's windy today. Then the other thing I've done was I tied off a little hitch here. And then this allows me to adjust the height of the pot either up or down to the fire, whatever I need. Then I can just do a quick little knot here. Just do a quick fold over, pull the free end down through, cinch her down tight. Now the pot will just hang there all by itself right over top of that fire. So I don't know, we got a pretty good breeze, fairly weak fire at the moment, although it is pretty hot down there. It is approximately 7 minutes after 2, and we'll see what we come up with for being able to boil roughly a quart of water and see how long it takes. We'll be back. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. While we were off camera, I fashioned a little lid lifting stick here. Hopefully you can see that. And I used my good old-fashioned old hickory knife for that. Better get a little more oil on it there. Came extremely dull. More like a blank than a knife. So I'm still working on sharpening that up, but we'll test this theory here. Oh yeah. She's bubbling in there now. It's not what I would call a rolling boil yet, but it is definitely full of air bubbles. I use my little knife, put the lid back on, stabilize it over the fire, just enough to give it a good going over. I think it's going to take another few minutes. We got a pretty good wind blowing today. But all in all, I think things are working out pretty nicely. The old billy can on a tripod over the fire. I'll zoom back out. Kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at. Definitely warm enough to have a hot meal right now. The only thing we're going to do now is we're going to boil water as if we were disinfecting the water out in a survival and or bushcrafting scenario. We'll be back shortly. Alright kids, you can kind of start to see now, back this up just a touch, you can start to see the can shaking back and forth a little bit, and I don't mean the swing, I kind of mean the can itself, and that tells me that that water has now come to a rolling boil in there, because it's making the can shake a little bit. I got down pretty close to it, I could actually hear the water boiling on the inside. We'll see how it's doing here right quick. Oh yeah, not looking too bad, not looking too bad at all. Oh yeah, we should have a good strong rolling boil here in about a minute or so. Okay, about 1 minute later, I lowered it down, set it down on the fire just a touch to see if we could accelerate the process, and sure enough, you can see that water's got itself a nice rolling boil going. Let's see if we can zoom in on it here a little more. Oh yeah, disinfected water. We can survive. We can cook. Boy, I don't know if it gets any better than this. All right, guys. I'm going to pull that off of there and we'll kind of see where we're at in relation to everything. And that was 15 minutes to get 32 ounces of water boiling over a fire on a windy day. And the temperature's about, I think we're about 63, 64 right now. So really pretty nice day for a test like this. Stay with me. We'll wrap this up in a... One other thing. As you can see on the pot, there's a wire handle on it now. What this wire handle does is it allows me to put the toggle in there. It also allows me to pack it up a little bit neater, other than with the original stiff handle that came with it. The other aspect of that is it is a braided stainless steel mirror hanging wire. It's supposed to hold 40 pounds, so it'll handle anything we can put in the pot. But the very neat thing about that is this wire does not get hot. So that water's boiling away, it's sitting right over the fire, and that is perfectly cool to the touch. I can certainly pick it up by the wire, not even use the bail. In fact, we'll just remove it from that right now just to prove the point. And sports fans, that is a boiling hot pot of water. So if you wanted to make some soup, do anything else with it, this is my little toggle here. Just get it up out of the way from the fire. 2 wraps around and she's ready to go for the next one. Alright, well that's my 14 centimeter billy can review. Tripod, saw, all manner of neat stuff on a Sunday morning. Alright kids, in conclusion for today, the Zebra billy can, a 14 centimeter size. It's a little bigger than what I thought it was going to be, but turns out I think it's going to be nice. Like I said, you can boil up to 64 ounces or 2 quarts of water in here. You can make a nice meal. You can feed 2 or 3, 4 people with this. Lid comes off. Comes with a nice stainless steel bowl. A lot of folks take these and drill holes in the bottom, turn them into steamers. And they supplement that with a smaller, like titanium bowl that they can put down inside. I may do that at some point. Currently I'm keeping my solo stove, which we've reviewed previously, in there. And I've got my Altoids fire tin. This is the one that I make the char cloth in, obviously, as it's all blackened from having done that several times. But overall, I'm very pleased, very happy with the way this has turned out. I put my little tin in there. Keeps that from rattling around too bad. Set the bowl right back on top, put the lid in it. We're good to go. Again, I put this wire bail on here, and that's nice because you can just bend it, fold it over, put it in your pack. You know, you can mess with the wire and get it to go back and lay down on the side, but either way is going to be fine because as soon as you pull it back out, you straighten out your wire again, and that's a braided stainless steel rated at 40 pounds for hanging mirrors. Works out beautifully. I'll post down in the comments the individual that I got the idea for doing that from. Far better than the steel, heavy-duty steel handle or bail that came with it. That was very nice, but it was a little awkward. It doesn't pack well in the pack, but this seems to be the ticket right here. I would highly recommend it. They come in 10 centimeter, 12 centimeter, 14 centimeter, which is what this one is, and then there's a 16 as well, which is quite a bit larger than this. I believe that's up to 3 quarts at that point. But it's a little heavy. It's stainless steel, but it does a real nice job. Brought it back up. I took it inside, cleaned it, got most of the darkness off of the bottom. Looks like it's going to hold itself, and as far as I'm concerned, hold its value real well. So all in all, kids, it's been a Sunday afternoon in the backyard, or Sunday morning rather, and I think I'll go work on some other stuff. But thanks for viewing. Again, any comments, you know, suggestions, please feel free to put them out there. You know, sharing information is what this is all about. Good luck to you and have a great day.